Was I drugged before I watched this movie? Or was that just how insane it was? Jesus Christ.
Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. Suicide Squad was the third official film in the DCU, if I'm not mistaken, and came out to mixed reviews, is the nicest way to put it. Realistically, this film is not good. Now there are things here that I genuinely like in the movie, don't get me wrong, I don't completely hate it at all. I mean I don't hate it at all really. There are a fair few things that I think are actually good. And deep within the film, I can see a great film, but Warner Brothers, as they have with the whole DCU, made it the mess it is. Mainly anything with Harley Quinn, Deadshot, or El Diablo. I think all of their stuff in the film is actually really good, and there is other stuff that I genuinely like, but there's just a lot more bad than there is good, and it's kind of the bad that makes it fun to watch for me now. This video is just going to be my version of the film, and I don't mean any offense to any of the cast and crew. I think they are all extremely talented people, so don't take it in that way. This is just a bit of fun, and how I would have liked to see the film turn out. If anything, this is probably worse than the actual film, and it's very rough outline. It's not a script, obviously. It's just a very rough idea, kind of plot, kind of thing, if that makes sense. Alright, time to stop waffling. Let's get into it. So let's begin. Obviously this is coming out after Man of Steel and Batman v Superman, which have set up the world we are in here. So we're keeping with that serious tone and not having any of this Guardians of the Galaxy copying stuff. So I will start with Amanda Waller speaking to Bruce Wayne at a dinner table, explaining what she wants to do with Task Force X, and explaining why, saying something along the lines of, "You brought a lot of these in, let us make something good out of them," and trying to just get funding from Wayne, but he is against it mainly due to the bombs in their necks, and obviously Batman does not like that idea. Then I think we should cut to Harley with a flashback of when she was caught by Batman, and I think keep that the same with the Joker in the car. I think that's a good scene for me. Then fade to Harley today in her cell with Amanda entering from a bridge above, similar to how she did in the film that we got, with Harley again asking, "Are you the devil?" So the content is roughly the same around here, but just in a different order. And then we cut to Deadshot's flashback, the same as when he chose not to shoot Batman in front of his daughter. That was one of the best scenes, honestly, in the film. Then of course cut to Deadshot in his cell, having Will Smith just very calm, as a contrast to Harley, who would of course be fairly energetic and lively. But then Deadshot would be kind of the polar opposite to her. And then cut to black, and have the titles fade in. I think this opening would give a good sense of the characters I'd focus on. I would focus on Harley and Deadshot, establishing these two as the main two members of the team and main characters we're going to focus on. And then we're going to have some backstory with the other characters, don't get me wrong, but these are going to be the two main characters that the film focuses on. Okay, so then we would cut back to the squad after the titles, all in chains below Amanda Waller, tied to each other, as she tells them what she has to do. And instead of the witch stuff, we're not going to include her here at all. Maybe she'll come into things later, we'll have to wait and see, but we'd have Waller say something along the lines of, "Over in Mexico," or some other place, "we've had some extreme reports of robberies and violence above any other place in the world right now." And Deadshot asking the obvious, "Why us? What about the Batman or the big Man of Steel?" Amanda Waller looking down, "The Batman does not have the means of getting to Mexico at this moment in time, and Superman is dead." At this moment each member look in shock. They had been in prison since before the start of Batman v Superman and had not been given any news of the outside world. El Diablo asks, "What about the others? The fast guy and the Wonder Chick," referring to the Flash and Wonder Woman of course. Amanda tells them that they are currently unable to reach location, the same as Batman. Deadshot asks, "What are you putting us up against, and how can you trust us?" Amanda would reply, "I don't know. Just know there's some very powerful people, and I don't trust you." And then, in one click on her wrist, Slipknot's brains blow out, just giving all the power to her, instantly making her seem much worse than the villains in a row that we have to try and root for in this film, making us instantly sympathise with what has just happened and seeing Amanda Waller as even worse. Then I will cut to the team suiting up, similar to the scene that was in the movie, just probably without the music. Then have them travelling on a plane to Mexico or wherever. I'm just going to use Mexico from now on, just because I don't know why I've got that in my mind, but we're going to go with it. And on this plane now, it's some downtime. We can learn about the characters. We could get some hints of El Diablo in the past. I'd keep him the same. I think his character was fairly emotional, and I really liked it. But I'd have Captain Boomerang and Deadshot taking digs at El Diablo throughout the rest of the film until he finally lets his power out and we learn what happened to his family. Then we could have some sympathetic moments with Killer Croc and Harley constantly on him, and we would have Croc explain how he unwillingly became this villain and monster and why. And we could have El Diablo asking Captain Boomerang about why he went into the life of a thief, etc. I don't really know the comic history of him, so we could keep it like that, keep it close to the comics, or make something completely new. I don't really know, that's why I'm not talking about Captain Boomerang's backstory. And to end this scene, we'd have the plane landing with Rick Flag ordering everyone out to follow him, and the other few soldiers, of course. On their way from the landing strip, they could hear a plane overhead, Deadshot looking up and saying, "I have a bad feeling about this." Of course, Han Solo reference, don't know why, just wanted to put it in. And as the plane flies over, a series of bombs are dropped in lines coming towards the squad, Rick screaming to get down and get behind cover, so they run as fast as they can to the nearest building, and the plane continues flying over, not hitting any of the team, but Deadshot would take this seriously to heart, asking Flag who owns these planes. Flag doesn't know, but decides to follow the plane, so that's what they all do. On this long walk, we can see Deadshot and Harley building up some chemistry. Deadshot asking about the history with the Joker and what happened, and then Harley asking about why Deadshot chose the hitman life, explaining that when she was running Gotham with Joker, they'd always hear about this man who couldn't miss, Deadshot, explaining he does it for his daughter in the hopes of her going to university. In the middle of a street everyone is in, 3 buildings just out of nowhere go up in firework-like flames, the whole squad being deafened and thrown back due to the power of the explosions, and slowly from the smoke, crooks emerge wearing clown masks and dark trench coats holding large guns. Flag trying to order them to stand down, but they are surrounded from every side. There are tons of goons, Harley cracking typical jokes of her and the other squad members asking Flag what's the plan here. He continues shouting orders at the goons, closing in on them from every side, but they all suddenly stand still. But then Deadshot, deciding to take control in this situation, orders a Flag to get behind a nearby destroyed car. Harley asking why he'd save him, Deadshot saying, as he does in the film we got, he dies, we die. And with that, Deadshot opens fire with each arm, and each other member besides El Diablo start taking out each goon in their own unique ways, being a fun action scene similar to those in Birds of Prey, but dark, violent music keeping it with the tone of the DCU so far. After this action scene, we could have the team go into a nearby corner bar with windows smashed and smoke covering the place outside. Deadshot and Captain Boomerang would team up on El Diablo, pressuring him about why he doesn't use his power, but Croc would defend him. Then, as Harley drinks straight from a bottle of something behind the bar, she kicks Flag in the crotch, asking what's going on and who has this much power. But then, from the smoke, we hear some unsettling laughter. The Joker enters through one of the smashed windows. Everyone knows who the Joker is, of course. Deadshot calling out, "What the hell, Flag?" And it would just be a scene full of suspense, with Deadshot and Harley looking at each other confused. Joker promises he'll come back for Harley, but that if they try to chase him, they'll all die. Captain Boomerang asks Flag if this is the guy, and Flag nods uncertainly. He takes a boomerang out and throws it at the Joker, but he moves and it just slices his shoulder. And on the way back the Joker shoots it, so it doesn't get back to Boomerang. Joker feels his shoulder, blood dripping onto his finger. Then he looks at Boomerang with evil intention. He shoots him point blank in the head. Everyone looking at him with suspense and fear. He declares that tonight he is leaving, as there is one more thing he needs, and then he's taking Harley with him. And then he leaves. Flag will then call Waller, and they will of course be ordered to track the Joker down, and that is what they do. On their way to find him, we can have some fun quippy action scenes from Harley and the others with Joker's goons, and the whole team trying to guess what Joker is doing. On the way we can learn a bit about Flag as well, and his relationship with June Moon. We could have a flashback showing some of their struggles, and Flag would be determined to get through this as he wants to propose to June. Diablo and Croc would have some fun moments joking together, and Deadshot would try and find out about Joker and Harley's relationship. Eventually they make it to an old abandoned circus theme park. Ha 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 is painted on the sides of all the rides. Harley, more than the rest, hesitant to do anything that Flag wants, but Flag warns them all that he'll blow their brains out if they try anything, so Deadshot tries to convince Harley to come. They all climb to the top of one of the rides, but when they reach the top, a series of lights shine up at them. Looking outside, Deadshot sees hundreds of people with clown masks. The Joker calls up with a megaphone, warning them and giving them an offer to join him. Flag warns them not to, but suddenly the bombs in their neck are deactivated. Harley is filled with excitement, but Deadshot tries to keep her away, asking is it worth it, saying he doesn't want to work for him, but Harley says that she loves him. They are lost on what to do, but suddenly they hear and smell burning. But the tower has started to burn. Everyone tries to escape and get to the floor. Croc shielding them from the flames, burning himself. Harley feeling like the Joker didn't care if she had died. She decides to stand with the squad. Deadshot tells Flag he's going to get to propose, and how he knows to do anything for those closest to you. Croc agrees and says that he didn't want to be in the crime world anyway, and Harley, with the feeling of Joker not caring, agrees to stand with the squad too. And of course, El Diablo stays, but is hesitant to fight and uses power. And the Joker walks out and offers one more time, but Deadshot shoots him in the other shoulder, to the boomerang of course, causing him to slide into the crowd, and all the guns all start on the squad. They all begin to fight. We lose Deadshot though in the crowd. Harley finds him in the abandoned ghost train, tied up, surrounded by knives. Joker trying to convince Harley to come with him, and him saying he needs her. A tear drops from Harley's eye. She is so conflicted on who to choose and what to do here. But due to the events of today, she chooses Deadshot, and a fight breaks out between Joker and Harley. Intercut with the Joker fighting Harley, we would have shots of the others fighting the goons, of course. El Diablo using his fist to defend himself, but rarely going to punch. Flag screams at him to let go, and then Croc grabs his shoulder saying, "We need you." As he says that, Croc is stabbed with a knife right in the back, and with each squad member being grabbed by the neck, Diablo whispers to himself, "I'm sorry, I need to use the devil's gift for something good for once." And he throws his hands to the floor, and flames consume every single goon in sight. Harley would be resilient until she breaks his Joker's knee with her hammer. She then asks why he's here and what he's been doing. He says he'll tell her if she goes with him. Then cut to a scene of Deadshot just walking out, his suit cut, and he shoots the final few guns as Flag and Croc sit with blood all over them. Diablo on the floor, unknown if he's breathing or not. They ask where Harley is. Deadshot simply replies, "Gone." Cut back to the prison. Deadshot and Croc are back in their cells. Waller had lied to them. They got no time off their prison sentence. Flag discusses with Deadshot at his cell door, talking about who is above the Joker, who is the Joker working for, who scares him that much to do stuff. Flag thanks Deadshot, and they clearly have a mutual respect now. But Deadshot warns Flag that when he gets out, he's going to kill Waller for giving him hope of seeing his daughter. Then cut to the revelation that Lex Luthor funded the Task Force X operation. Waller tells Luthor that Diablo is in critical condition, and she tells him the story about his family, in the same as the film, as I said earlier, and that she doesn't know if he'll live or not. Then end with Luthor smirking, picking up a call from Slade Wilson. Roll the credits. Setting up the next few films and leading into a Justice League movie that would actually be good. I want to clear up that I'm not saying that this is better than the film that we got. It's a complete mess, of course, and despite this video being longer than average, it's obviously a very rough outline idea, if that makes sense. It's just very general. This isn't a script, you know? But I hope you will enjoy it nonetheless. If you like this video, I will do more but reworks do take much longer, as you can imagine, and as you can see in this video. Let me know what you thought of my idea, having the Joker be the main villain and some setup for future movies. I hope you are all keeping safe, take care everyone, have a great day, and I will see you in the next one.